What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MTG Deep Dive channel, where today I've got my deep dive into my first look of the Samsung Galaxy S26 and the S26 Plus. Now, the setup's a little bit different. I'm in a hotel in San Francisco because Samsung flew me out to San Francisco for Samsung Galaxy Unpacked, and I had some time. By the time you see this video, the latest devices will be official, but I got some early hands-on look with the devices. So a huge shout out and thanks to Samsung. But I want to talk about these two devices because everyone talks about the Ultra. A lot of people talk about the Ultra, but then when it comes to kind of purchasing it, it's like you either pick up the S26, like the base model, or you pick up the Ultra. So I want to talk more about these two, the 26 and the 26 Plus, because there are some upgrades. They're more refinements than anything. I mean, when you take a look at the design between its predecessor, the S25, and the new S26, they look fairly similar. Colors are the big difference that you can tell, and then having the camera island, like the Z Fold 7 camera setup, is now baked into the entirety of the Galaxy S26 series. But a lot of it comes down into the internal. So look, I kind of want to break it down and talk about what I saw on my initial limited hands-on time with these devices. So they're ever so slightly kind of thinner, cleaner, and they're still kind of classic. Samsung kept that Galaxy identity. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's got the flat frame, the camera layout's pretty minimal. The Galaxy S26 comes in at just 7.2 millimeters thick, with the S26 Plus slightly thicker at 7.3. They feel really slim in the hand and they feel really refined in the hand. With the S26, we do get ever so slightly larger display, 6.3 versus 6.2 on the predecessor. Now you're going to be getting Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on these devices, whereas the Ultra gets the Armor Pro. And that's not really, the Armor Pro is obviously going to be better, but the displays on the 26 and 26 Plus are still pretty sturdy too. So there isn't really too much compromise in that regards. Yes, the Ultra is going to get the better one, but it doesn't mean that Samsung is kind of just neglecting the 26 and 26 Plus. Obviously, S26 is the more compact option, and I have right here the S25 in hand, and I really like this device. So I'm probably going to be picking up the Galaxy S26 when that does come out. I don't know which color yet. I've seen all the colors, but we'll see which ones I do pick up. But overall, fairly similar design. Like, again, the big difference that you can tell them apart is the camera layout, the camera cutout, and the colors. Now the display, we do get some upgrades. So S26, well, I'll put it this way: they're both 10-bit panels, and they do have better color depth. The S26, like I said, the 6.3-inch display is a full HD display, but again, still feels really compact. This is the new compact form factor: 6.2, 6.3-inch display-sized phones. We're not getting anything smaller than that. Asus got rid of the Zenfone. Zenfone 10 was their last compact flagship. They don't have that anymore. They're not even making smartphones in 2026. They've kind of stepped out of it for now. Hopefully they make more again, but at this point I don't think so. We're not going to get that. We're not going to get an iPhone mini, although I would love one. I would love a Galaxy S26 Ultra Mini, but we're not going to get one. This is essentially that. The S26 is going to be the mini, the compact. I guess we can throw the mini name moniker out the window and just call it compact. Anyway, with the S26 Plus, we're getting a 6.7-inch Quad HD display, not Full HD, so it's more resolution, more pixel density, and then obviously that's going to be better for media consumption. Now, across the board for both of them, they're both going to feature 10-bit displays. That means better color gradients, less banding, and then more professional level visual depth. And then this does matter for more than people do realize, especially for HDR video, because when I look, these panels that I saw in person, they look really good. Like, they actually look very rich and vibrant, and they're very Samsung-y. And that makes sense, right? Samsung panels have always been great, and I don't expect it to change. Whenever you use a Samsung device, you know, like one of the best parts of the phone is the display. And I think Samsung puts a lot of importance into the display because it's literally the part of the phone that you interact with the most. It's, I guess, the only part of the phone that you can interact with, so you want to have something really good, and Samsung does that with the display. Now, performance is where things get a little bit, you know, interesting, and in good ways. Like it's good. So with the performance in the software, we're going to be getting 12 gigs of RAM standard with these devices, and that's important because obviously we're not getting like 8 gigs, 12 gigs, and 16. Like we're not getting scattered amounts of RAM for these devices. They're just 12 gigs standard. There we go. That's it. Now the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy does power both of them, and this chipset, it's built for efficiency and it's built for AI. So you're going to be getting flagship level performance in both of these devices. And yes, they do ship with Android 16 and One UI 8.5, which, by the way, I have the beta on the S25, and it's been really good. Even though it's a beta, it's been very smooth. Those are going to ship with the stable release, and they were really smooth. Obviously, they were demo units, like when I was looking at them hands-on, but nonetheless, the fact that you get One UI 8.5 out of the box, Samsung has done a great job in the software department these past couple of years. Like, kudos to them, congrats, and I applaud them for really showing importance and focusing a lot in the software game because they've really been great. In fact, One UI has become my favorite custom UI skin by far. It just beats the others. Like Pixel UI is up there too, with like Material 3 Expressive. OnePlus was up there, but then when they started doing integrations with like Color OS, I kind of brought that down to like number 3. But Samsung One UI has been truly great. Now the apps that I tested, like opening, they were instant, multitasking, is going to be great. I can definitely tell you that because of having the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy and then 12 gigs of RAM. But the real story obviously was AI. Samsung did talk a lot about the AI features that I'll get to in just a moment. But before I do, I kind of want to talk about the cameras because there are some AI stuff going on in the cameras too. So with the cameras, the main camera setup, it's familiar for both 50 megapixel wide with a 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto. But Samsung is focusing a lot in the post-processing this year. The selfie camera did get improved with an enhanced AI ISP, better detail, and then better low light handling. So I think this year, like Samsung with these devices, they're not really chasing megapixels. They're really trying to focus on the real world use. And we'll see when these devices come out. Like I said, I wasn't able to really test the cameras and try them out like I would normally if I had the phone because we only had a limited time of using the devices. But once I pick up the Galaxy S26, I will be testing it, so stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, this wallpaper pack that you see on my Galaxy S25, it is now live. It's called Aura Layers. I've been using it for a couple weeks and showcasing it here on MTG Deep Dive, but also on my other channels as well. And I really like this wallpaper pack. It's genuinely great. So take a look at it. Links in the description down below. But the AI features is where Samsung is really kind of pushing. With Photo Assist, it's, first of all, Photo Assist is multimodal. So for example, let's say like you have 2 photos, and they gave a great example. Like you have 2 photos, you want to take like a photo with you wearing like a Buffalo Bills jersey, which would be a jersey that I would wear because I like the Buffalo Bills. But let's say you take a jersey of me wearing the Buffalo Bills, and I want to have I have another photo of me wearing a suit, but I want to switch me wearing a suit into me wearing the Buffalo Bills jersey. I can now do that because it's multimodal. So Photo Assist has definitely has seen improvements. Like you can tell the phone what to do with a photo. That's great. Instead of trying to do it yourself, for me, for example, like when I take photos of my car, I want to remove the license plate. Now I'm going to be able to do that by just telling it, like remove license plate on car. It's going to do it. instead of me trying to like manually clear out the license plate, it's going to do it itself, which is great. And it does understand context. Multimodal AI, I'm excited to try out those features. So it's not just editing, it's interpretation. And I think a lot of people are actually going to use this feature, but it's also like, it's not Samsung really throwing this at you. It's like Samsung saying, hey, look, we have this really cool feature. It's there when you need it. If you don't need it, it's fine. But if you need it, it is there. Now, there's also Creative Studio, which is new. It's like ready-made stickers and greeting cards, social content templates, and things like that. And this is kind of Samsung leaning into creative tools for regular users. And I'm excited to try that out. I really want to try Creative Studio a little bit more once I get my hands on. So again, stay tuned to that, because once I do get my hands on it, I'm going to use it a little bit more. If you guys want to see like a second impressions deep dive and then like a full deep dive, let me know. But I really want to try out the phone first and see what those features are, because having such limited time, it's like, do I get footage of the phone? Do I actually try out the features? Like, I want to try some things like off camera first and get a feel and understanding of the feature before I actually, am able to record that footage. Now, there's also audio eraser. I was going to kind of transition into battery, but there's still audio eraser because this is actually big. So we've had audio eraser for a little bit now, and it works really well. But now audio eraser is expanding into third-party apps. So like YouTube, Netflix, Instagram is going to have audio eraser. Sweet. And there's going to be more apps as well. I'm sure support is going to come to more apps in the future. So that's not going to be, that's like ecosystem level integration. That's really cool. I'm excited to try it out. Again, these are features I have to try out when the phone comes out thoroughly before I get to really share the information. But just know it's there, and I'm excited to try it out. Now we can talk about the battery, because this is where like the real improvements in some parts of it happen to be. So with the S26, we get a 4,300 milliamp hour battery, a 300 milliamp hour upgrade. Battery capacity is 300 higher than its predecessor. And wire charging is still at 25, so that is upsetting. It's not 45, and wireless charging is 15 watts. As for the S26 Plus, we're still getting 4,900 milliamp hours, but we're getting 45 watts wire charging and 20 watts wireless. So like each model, the base, the Plus, the Ultra, they're all over the place with like charging speed. So it's kind of hard. It's going to be hard to like remember all of them at once. But yeah, the Plus, it's obviously positioned as the endurance model, but having slightly larger battery with the S26 4300, I think it should also be should be better than the S25 for sure. Between efficiency gains and bigger batteries with these devices, specifically with the S26 getting the bigger battery, the battery life hopefully will improve across both of these. Now there also is Samsung tech support with the entirety of the lineup. And then the pricing. So the Galaxy S26 starts at $899. That's $100 more expensive. Not only that, the S26 Plus starts at $1099. Again, that's $100 more expensive. An increase. You're paying more, but you're also getting a couple new things. Like you're getting a little bit more battery with the regular. Then again, you probably get it with the Plus because of efficiency and things like that. More AI features, but it's like the question is, does that justify the jump? I don't know. I really don't know. I do know like these are refined compact flagships. The S26 is the 26 Plus is like, I feel like that's going to sell the least. I really do. While it does feel like a balanced mainstream powerhouse, it doesn't really feel like they put much thought into it. So we'll see what happens. But S26 is probably going to be the second most selling, and then 26 Plus is going to be the third, with the Ultra selling the most. Even though, like I said at the beginning, a lot of people, they talk about the Ultra, but they don't end up buying it. I still think a lot of people will kind of lean towards the Ultra because of having more features that they'll probably end up using. Even though I think this is actually going to be a really decent buy for many people, 85% of users who want to, actually I worded that wrong. I think the S26 Ultra is going to provide 85% of what the Ultra is going to provide, and a lot of users should probably pick this up instead. But if you want to pay $1,300 for the Ultra, go right ahead. Unless you have something, trade-in deals, they'll probably be pretty decent. Unless you're trading in something, then go right ahead. Pick up whichever phone you want. I'm excited for the S26. 26 Plus, not too much. I don't even have the S25 Plus either. I just have the 26 and the S26 Ultra or S25 Ultra, so I will be getting those successors. But nonetheless, stay tuned. Once I get my hands on these, I will be going more into a deep dive and adding some more content here, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check the link down below for my latest wallpaper pack, Aura Layers. Question to you guys. Do you go with the regular S26? Do you go to the Plus model, or do you make the jump to the Ultra? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's been it for me with this deep dive of the Galaxy S26 and 26 Plus, kind of my first look into the deep dive. I'll catch you all in the next video.